From 6 News, the station on your side. This is The 7.
Good evening, I'm Bo Williams. Welcome to The 7. Let's get a look at the big 7 stories happening right now. And topping the list for us tonight, the man on trial for the torture, rape, and murder of 36-year-old Jennifer Paxton in 2019 has now been found guilty on 11 of 13 charges. Much of today was a waiting game until about 5:15, right before the jurors were expected to be dismissed for the day. We learned the fate of Sean Finnegan. As we've been telling you, the case began back in 2020 when officers responded to a call about a potential body stored in a freezer. Jennifer Paxton's body was later found in Finnegan's home under his bed. Now, throughout the last week, we heard from 2 key people in this trial, a woman who had pleaded guilty for her part in Paxton's death and the medical examiner. The examiner took us through each wound on Paxton's body, the examiner placing pins on a mannequin representing Paxton, breaking down each mark into 3 categories: sharp force, blunt force, and ligature injuries. But she also mentioned there were some interior injuries as well. In all, there were 56 clusters on the outside of Paxton's body. Now, we also heard from the woman who pleaded guilty to first-degree murder and was sentenced to life in prison. Part of Rebecca Dishman's plea agreement was to testify in this trial, where she shared her account of abuse by Finnegan and about the days Jennifer Paxton stayed in their home, chained up, abused, and raped before she was killed. After a week, the jurors unanimously agreed that Finnegan was guilty of aggravated kidnapping, aggravated rape, abuse of a corpse, tampering with evidence, along with 8 other counts. However, there were 2 counts where the jury ruled not guilty.
Count 5, we, the jury, find the defendant, Sean Shannon Finnegan, not guilty of the case of aggravated rape with bodily injury to Jennifer Paxton. Count 9, we, the jury, find the defendant, Sean Shannon Finnegan, not guilty of conspiracy to commit premeditated first-degree murder.
As for what's next, the jury will come back tomorrow morning where they will hear victim impact statements from the family before sentencing. Today, the 2 people suspected of killing a Lenore City National Guardsman appearing before a judge. You know, like we've been telling you, Amanda Bishop and Eric Bird now face first-degree murder charges following the 2019 death of Jacob Bishop. The 2 were arraigned on those first-degree murder charges. Bird appeared remotely from jail. Amanda appeared in person. Now, remember, she posted bond last week. Today's hearing was brief. Their next court date has now been set for September 30th. Well, like we told you last week, the sheriff's office believes Amanda and Jacob were going through a divorce and a heated custody battle at the time of Jacob's death. We'll, of course, continue to follow this case closely for you. And now, former Knox County Sheriff's deputy facing several charges tonight, including driving under the influence and resisting arrest. The sheriff's office tells us that Lieutenant Charles Miller had been with the sheriff's office for 11 years before he resigned without notice on Friday. That was the same day that he was charged by the Highway Patrol. In addition to being accused of driving under the influence and resisting arrest, Miller is accused of violating the open container law and possession of a handgun while under the influence. He was booked in the Monroe County Jail. Of course, we'll update you as soon as we learn more about his arrest. A man convicted of killing a young Cocke County woman has now been released from prison. You know, we've been following this case for 15 years. Jeffrey Stock of Del Rio faced several charges in connection with the death of Megan Maxwell. The 19-year-old went missing in April of 2009. Her remains were found in November of 2010. Stock was convicted in 2013. Now, Stock also served time for failing to register as a sex offender when he moved to Tennessee. He had previously been convicted of abducting and sexually assaulting 2 teenage girls in Indiana. The owners of Little River BBQ in Townsend going through, well, now what's left of their family-owned restaurant after a fire destroyed the building on Sunday. Fire crews were called around 5 a.m., but the building could not be saved. Crews were able to salvage the building next door, which is owned by the same family. While the owners did not want to speak on camera today, they do say that they are grateful for the fire department as crews were able to save adjacent buildings which house the restaurant's records. The fire chief says 18 volunteers from the department responded to the scene. There's no word yet, though, on a cause.
And the team that was over there, team overall did a great job, but that's a hard fight when you're in between 2 buildings like that. Magnifies the heat. There's nowhere to really where you can self-rescue. So it's a hard fight, and they put up a good fight and saved the structure.
The owners of the restaurant say they hope to rebuild, although they think it will be a smaller establishment. People who live in the Oakwood-Lincoln Park neighborhood of North Knoxville now voicing concerns about the Fort Loudon waste and recycling facility site. You know, last week's fire was not the first on that property. The Knoxville Fire Department responded to the site Thursday night and found a 10,500 square foot building in flames. Now the property was the site of a massive fire in 2019 in which many living near the site were forced to evacuate. Well, according to the city, the company does not have a valid business license and is no longer an active corporation here in Tennessee. And with 4 fires on the property so far this year, well, neighbors are hoping something will change.
Ultimately, I think the greatest thing that could be happen to that property is have it turn into a park. Maybe a section of it could be, eventually converted over to some multifamily housing, but anything would really be better than what it is right now because of the burden that it causes on just the neighborhood and the city resources.
Property has been for sale for about 10 months. Many in the Knoxville community are mourning tonight. Knoxville business pioneer Bill Baxter has passed away, but the legacy that Baxter built is not going away anytime soon. Baxter was known as a business owner and philanthropist. Got his big start in Knoxville when his father passed along the reins of Holston Gas. He helped the business then reach new heights, expanding into dozens of states. Now it is one of the biggest industrial gas suppliers in the U.S. Baxter also held leadership positions with TVA, the United Way, and Zoo Knoxville. This was before he was appointed as the state's Commissioner of Economic and Community Development. His obituary confirmed that he lost his battle following a cancer diagnosis. Now, we spoke with former Knoxville Mayor Victor Ashe earlier today about the impact Baxter had on the area.
And when he got involved, he was really involved. He was energetic, he was active, and if there needed to be a change in the way you were headed, he didn't hesitate to suggest it.
By the way, the Wart Hotel, a property Baxter and his family bought in Wyoming in 2003, shared the news on its social media accounts today. Jim Waldrop, as a matter of fact, the president of Silver Inc., who owns the hotel, said in part, quote, his compassionate leadership, love of life and community, music, friends, and family have made a lasting impact on us all. Rest in peace, Bill Baxter, end quote.